Now, to get it even more interesting, this is a Catholic book, Boiling Point 2017. Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, an end-time prediction. Most people are unaware that they are in the most violent war of all times, and the number of casualties, please note, will be in the billions. In the billions. The pit of hell has been opened and demons have been gathering in souls for damnation. Loss of faith in God has allowed these demons to come upon the earth. And it is possible that the world will soon experience the great tribulation spoken of in the Bible. Few will survive these apocalyptic end times. Well, now I'm beginning to look up to what these people are saying. 2017. A special charismatic jubilee. 2017, Fatima double whammy jubilee. And now we have this 2017 prediction, none of which I am concerned about or believe or get excited about. I'm just mentioning them, what they are saying. But now I am really getting interested. Because this comes from the Lutherans themselves, Perspectives for the Reformation Jubilee 2017. Martin Luther 2017. This is the Protestant world speaking. The religious world presents profound changes. Western societies move in the direction of multicultural and multi-religious relationships, if they are not already shaped by them. In this setting, the insights that have grown as a result of working out differences and in the give and take of the Christian confessions should be constructively applied in the present. In the face of the plurality of religious persuasions and worldviews, a sense grows for that which is shared by all Christians. At the same time, each respective profile retains its particular significance. From the global, total perspective of the one Christendom, a longing is expressed to have a culturally but also religiously identified and identifiable home. This is very interesting. It is not inconceivable that the religious world can explode in turmoil as the stage has been set. And people are afraid of the influx of this religion and that religion and the other religion, to the point where, in Europe they're showing pictures of, they're very striking, bathing fashion in the year 2000 and whatever, 17, 18 or whatever. And then it's a lady dressed with a burqa, totally black, with just the eyes sticking out. And they are creating fear for all of the issues, Sharia law, and it's incredible what they are all doing. People are longing to get back to some route where they can ensconce themselves. It doesn't matter how they are doing it or what they're doing. Just look at prophecy. These are just winds pushing people into mind directions. So, you want an identifiable home. 2008, in an interview with the journalist Emil Hakenens, the Jesuit professor, Edward Kimmen, and he was then the General Secretary of the Netherlands Bishops' Conference, said the following: "There remains hardly any reason to remain a Protestant." And then he said, he sees Protestantism as an action group that forgot to dissolve itself. That's pretty bold words by this Jesuit. And then he said that had not recognized the significance of a global visible leadership personality such as that of the Pope. And then he said, moreover, he stated that he doubted that the Reformation would still exist after 2017. Now this is a Jesuit speaking. Now when a Jesuit starts using dates, specific dates, then my ears perk up. So now I'm getting all these 2017s, all these ducks in a row, and I'm not interested about the date. I'm interested in what is planned for that date. There's a difference. There's a big difference. And that they should return to the mother church. Religious news services report that the two sides, this is Lutherans and Roman Catholic Church. Now, I want you to remember this. When they had in Seoul the signing of the Unity of Religion Agreement, the Lutherans weren't there. The evangelicals weren't really there. But who started the Reformation in its form that it is now? I mean, Johann Hus started it, yes, but who actually broke away and finally succeeded to separate from Rome? Wasn't it the Lutherans? Wasn't it Martin Luther? So symbolically, how important would it be if the Lutherans went back? It would be a major deal. So they've decided that they will bury the hatchet. Oh, interesting. And they brought out a joint document from conflict to communion. And they brought that out in June 2013. And they write, there's little purpose in dredging up centuries-old conflict. In the document, the two churches recognize that in the age of ecumenism and globalization, the celebration requires a new approach, focusing on a reciprocal admission of guilt and on highlighting the progress made by Lutheran Catholic dialogue in the past 50 years. Progress that has been made. In the past how many years? 50. Do you recognize something here? There's another jubilee hidden in the jubilee of the 500 years. So there's a jubilee within a jubilee. The fact that the struggle for this truth in the 16th century led to the loss of unity in the Western Christendom belongs to the, I'm going to choke, but I'm going to read it, dark pages of church history. I thought the dark ages ended when light finally shone upon the Word of God. And in 2017, we must confess openly that we have been guilty before Christ of damaging the unity of the church. Now, this is astounding. A document from conflict to communion. But before I get there, let me read you a quote from this marvelous book called The Great Controversy. And I want to encourage my Protestant brethren out there in the world, please read the book, The Great Controversy. Read it from cover to cover and don't stop reading it until you've finished it. She writes, Popery is just what prophecy declared she would be. The apostasy of the latter times. 2 Thessalonians 2, 3 and 4. It is a part of her policy to assume the character which will best accomplish her purpose. But beneath the variable appearance of the chameleon, she conceals the invariable venom of the serpent. We are not bound to keep faith and promises to heretics, she declared. So she's quite willing to lie. Shall this power, whose record for 1,000 years is written in the blood of the saints, be now acknowledged as a part of the Church of Christ? That's a powerful statement. So, according to this statement, Rome does not change. But she will assume the character of the chameleon to hide her purposes. I love this little chameleon here in this picture because it's clutching its little leaves, they're mine, while it looks around. It so beautifully depicts this character. We read on, it is not without reason that the claim has been put forth in Protestant countries that Catholicism differs less widely from Protestantism than in former times. There has been a change, but the change is not in the papacy. Catholicism indeed resembles much of the Protestantism that now exists. Why? Because Protestantism has so greatly degenerated since the days of the Reformers. Now, my dear Protestant brethren, don't get upset. Take a look at the situation candidly. Look at the documentation. See where you were, see where you are now, and see whether the statement is the truth or whether it is a distortion of the truth. Check it out for yourselves. Test the Spirit. As the Protestant churches have been seeking the favor of the world, false charity has blinded their eyes. They do not see, but that it is right to believe good of all evil, and as the inevitable result, they will finally believe evil of all good. Instead of standing in defense of the faith once delivered to the saints, they are now, as it were, apologizing to Rome for their uncharitable opinion of her, begging pardon for their bigotry. Now, people don't like these words, but they are truth.